Hello, everyone. Welcome to Development Palates. I am Aaron Loomis, and with me, as always, is June Liu. How you doing, June?
Doing good.
So today we are talking about the Atabey Divinos. The cigar is kind of a short Robusto, 4.36 inches by 50 ring gauge. Comes out of the Vegas de Santiago factory in Costa Rica. The blend is completely undisclosed, wrapper binder filler. The cigar is blended by Nelson Alfonso. Price point is $19.99. So with the details out of the way, June, what was your pre-light experience like?
Really good. I thought the wrapper showed a really silky smooth claro shade wrapper. Veins well pressed, seams tight, uniform give throughout the whole cigar. No soft spots. Head finish off with a really well applied triple cap. And speaking of that band, I know it has relevance to that Behike style band and all that. I believe it's the same designer that did that. So. The cigar itself just looks really luxurious. In terms of the nosing and pre-light cold draw nosing experience, off the wrapper I got a really rich nuttiness, sweet bread, foot, mixture of balanced black pepper and a rich almond-like nuttiness. Cold draw, cedar bread, dry nuts, construction paper, and like a lip and tongue-tingling white pepper spice. So all in all, a really good pre-light experience.
Yeah, wrapper is light brown, has a few fine veins that were present. Seams are visible, but they're really smooth. The head wears a very well applied quadruple cap on it, actually. Single band that's gold, black, and white with some silver artwork and lettering. Aroma for the wrapper was bright and sweet hay with a little bit of leather, while the foot brought that same aroma, just with a little bit more leather present there. Pre-light draw, it's kind of the same notes, sweet hay and leather there as well. So really nice presentation. So getting into the flavor, what was your experience like?
First third, a good depth of toastiness, a tongue layering black pepper spice, subtle sweet breadiness, and mixed nuts. I was actually a little taken back by the amount of spice that was present in this cigar. While I didn't think that it was ever overpowering the other notes, but it does kind of stick to the palate as a dominant note. So very interesting, especially knowing that I've smoked some of the other Vitolas of the Atabey and it didn't have this much spice. The retro, full of deep flavors, providing intense black pepper, cedar, and a sweet toasted bread. Finish namely comprised of a lingering cedar note. Strength and body, medium. Moving on to the second third. Main change is that sweetness in the form of that toasted kind of sweet bread is increased, while the other notes are the same. There's still full and distinct black pepper spice and toastiness present throughout the cigar. Retro continues to be full of the sharp black pepper, cedar, but less of that sweet bread that I was getting from the first third. Finish, long lingering cedar, black pepper spice, strength. Almost kind of in that medium full category, which was another surprise that I had because I don't remember the other Atabeys being remotely touching medium full category, while body stays at the medium mark. Moving on to last third. Last third loses out on that sweetness, reverts back to namely a cedar and black pepper centric kind of a profile. That sweet bread note is still there, but now very much so in like kind of the second tier background note. Retro still the same as the second third, sharp black pepper and cedar. Finish continues to be long and lingering with a palate sticking cedar and black pepper. Strength somewhere still in between that medium full, never reached that medium fullness. Always a good thing in my opinion. And body still at that consistent medium mark.
Yeah, for me, the initial draws brought some mellow wood and some baking spices. After a few draws, an intense black pepper kind of flooded in and dominated the profile, but that only lasted like about 3 draws or so. After that, the profile settled down into an even mixture of the wood and the pepper. 3/4 of an inch in, some cream joined in, which kind of caused that pepper to mellow a little bit. And then as the third came to a close, the wood, the cream, and the pepper all created a really nice combination of flavors, and the strength was right at the medium mark. Getting into the second third, the nice mix of wood, cream, and pepper was continuing on. Retrohale was kind of a peppery wood. And then at 1/2 inch in, that pepper picked up a little bit, while the retrohale kind of drops the pepper and it was more of a creamy wood note. At 1 inch in, the cream goes away. Profile is primarily wood, a little bit of pepper in the background. And as the third came to a close, that wood became more defined as oak and kind of remained in the forefront with some pepper in the background. And that strength remained right at that medium mark. Then getting to the final third, that oak continued up front while a little bit of bitterness joined in with some pepper still in the background. And then half an inch in, the pepper went away and that bitterness was very faint. Kind of all that oak gained a little bit of a toasty note to it. And then an inch in, the bitterness left and that oak lost that toasty note and gained a little bit of a char to it. And that's kind of how the cigar finished out for me. And then the strength bumped up a little bit to just be slightly above medium. So getting into the performance of the cigar, what was your experience like?
The burn was really good, very good, as to be exact. One minor gripe was there's a little bit of a flaky ash going on, but other than that, really sharp burn line, self-tapped ashes of 1.5 inch increments. Never had to visit my lighter throughout the whole time. In terms of the draw, perfect. I cut the cigar right around that second layered cap. It gave me that perfect amount of that resistance and airflow. So really well constructed cigar in general.
Yeah, there were some slight waves in the burn line, but for the most part, it was pretty straight. Ash held on, just like you said, 1.5 inch increments, so really no complaints in regards to that. In regards to the draw, it started off a little bit loose, kind of through the first half of the cigar, but then kind of tightened up closer to where I preferred at that midpoint, and kind of as the cigar finished out. So overall, what were your thoughts on the cigar?
Not that price factor. I mean, price not really factoring in or not factoring at all into our score, but when I look at a ultra premium price cigar, I expect the experience to be nothing short of fantastic. In this case, for this particular Vitola, the Divinos, I thought that it was good, but it was certainly not fantastic. It was way short of fantastic, as a matter of fact. Kind of going back to that spice delivery, pretty surprised by the amount of spice I got out of this Vitola. You know, but you know, and I say that is because after smoking through some of the other like bigger ring gauge brothers of the siblings of the Vitolas of the Atabey, I certainly didn't get this much spice, and that was a good thing because I felt like with this much spice, it kind of made the profile less harmonious and less balanced. So it kind of tipped the balance aspect of it because it was a little. It was that little bit more spice centric than what I'm used to. So for me, if you want to try the Atabey, and I think people should, I believe in having like special occasion cigars. But if you're gonna, shell out the big bucks to try something like the Atabey, I say focus your money and spend a few more bucks on the bigger Vitolas.
Yeah, I mean, this Vitola didn't wow me like some of the others that I've tried, but it was still a good experience. I mean, the flavor is primarily centered around wood, carried a little bit of baking spice, black pepper, and cream as some of the accompanying notes. Strength stayed around medium, which for me is kind of what I find for the Atabey and throughout the line. Like you said, price doesn't factor into our scores, but this one carries a hefty price tag right around the $20 mark, and you're looking at a short Robusto. I agree with you 100%. If you want to try the Atabey, try a larger Vitola. I think it's just a better representation of the line. If you find yourself wanting to smoke more of these and you want just a shorter smoke, then maybe, then definitely try these out. But I think you're going to get a different experience than what you do with some of the larger ones. So, I mean, just like everything, all cigars, different Vitolas have different experiences. So you just have to find the one that matches for you. So just because it doesn't, this one doesn't do it for Jiunn and I, and other people may find this one, right up their alley. So that would be my recommendation. So getting to the scores, I give it a 6.47. You gave it a 7.20. How do you think that matches up?
Pretty well. I basically scored the flavor profile to be good and overall to be good, and I compound that by just overall almost perfect constructed cigar. So makes total sense that it hit that 7 range.
Yeah, same with me. I did the final third as average, just because it wasn't up to par with the rest of the cigar, but everything else was, good and, pretty good construction. So, I know it sounds like we're almost doing a downer on this cigar, but those scores are pretty good. It's just that I think based on our experience with the other Vitolas in the line that are, for our experience, far better than this, which is, still saying something that that score so well. like I said, you just have to try it, see how it matches up with your profile to figure out which Vitola you prefer. But at the price point, probably not going to go too deep on these cigars, and probably not going to be trying out every Vitola. So I'd say start somewhere a little bit larger, and then just see what you think. But it's definitely a good cigar. There's no doubt about that. Any other final thoughts from you?
Just kind of bouncing back here, when you're talking about our recommendation of smoking the bigger ring gauge stuff. I mean, in reference, if we were to smoke the bigger ring gauge, I already know that my score will hit. I mean, given that if it constructs fine, which all the ones I have really good construction, it'll definitely hit the 8s for me, and most likely it'll probably definitely hit my top 25.
Right. So. Yeah, I agree with you. So, but still, these are good scores. So it's just it's just what we know. We have an experience with the other Vitolas, so we know how really how good they can be. So I think this was just a slight bit of a disappointment compared to what the other ones were, but still a very good cigar. So if you're just catching this on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us, but also check out the full written review on the website, developingpalates.com. Be sure to follow us on all the social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Google+. You can also catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, so iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.